Good morning, everyone. So, welcome you all to the marathon session number 1 of the final 10 days revision course that we are doing for the paper 1 as well as paper 2. So, first we are starting with the paper 1. The first session is for the teaching aptitude, where we are going to focus more on the previous year questions. Focus revision is going to be there. And here I'm going to cover all the points which are being there in the previous year questions and some concepts which are most important for the examination perspective, which are part of the expected you know uh, questions in the upcoming examinations or questioning areas. So guys, those people who have taken the both courses, 999 for the paper 1 and paper 2 final revision 10 days live marathon perfect JRF revision course. So in this, you are getting a live classes for the paper 1 morning 6 to 8 a.m. Slightly the delay happened today. So tomorrow onwards, we'll make sure that. And in the evening 6 to 8 p.m. will be for paper 2 commerce. It will be conducted. So those who are taking only single course, you have been paid with about 519. And if you are interested, those people who are watching for free in the later, so you have to pay 519 for this, and 999 is for the both papers. Just go to the application and you can purchase it. If you have any doubt, approach on this WhatsApp number. And it is going to have a 30 days validity. Recording will be available for these sessions and starting from today, ending on 21st. Right? And every day at 12 p.m. you are going to have the, here this is the schedule if you can see. Today we are starting with the teaching aptitude, right? And tomorrow research, communication, logical reasoning, like this. And today evening we are going to have the business environment and international business, and daily at 12 p.m. daily maths and DI practice is going to be conducted, right? This is a schedule for entire this 10 days marathon course. So kindly make sure about this attending the classes. And if you have not yet purchased any of the sessions, then you can able to directly purchase from here, from the application, right? And when you are checking up the course for attending the live session, if there is a paper 1 session, click on the paper 1 session. By clicking on the paper 2 session, don't say that it is no content available, right? Some are literally there like that. So let us start the teaching aptitude revision for the 10 days revision course. Are you ready? Be interactive in the chat box, and when you are active in the live session, the productivity will be more, otherwise you will lose the interest of listening the class. Let's get started without late. Sir, teaching aptitude basically having many things in the previous year questions. You can see like a teaching meaning also based questions are there, maxims of teaching, levels of teaching, Bloom's taxonomy. These are the areas where previous year questions has been asked. So from these areas only almost a 30 pages we are going to revise everything in a single shot. So let's start. First, what is teaching onwards? Sir, I'm going to do the to the point revision, where you will also understand what exactly the point of previous year question from that to the point discussion, right? So teaching is basically a purposeful activity, sharing of a knowledge from experienced person to inexperienced person. It is a planned social interactive process aimed at a productive learning. Aimed at a productive learning. So teaching is a social act, which means a person is interacting with a large number of people, that a group of students. Whereas learning is an individual act. December 2024 examination. So learning is an individual act because it is depending upon the single learner what they are learning. And teaching behavior is molecular in nature, which is RENET examination June 2024. So molecular means the teaching behavior is going to be based on small parts the teacher has to teach. Like today I'm taking a teaching aptitude is one part. In that, first I'm taking the meaning, later the levels, later the methods, later the the evaluation systems, like this. A a small observable unit. It is not a molar means all together at a time we have to teach. No, teaching behavior is basically to teach in a small parts. And here Einstein said, I never teach my people, I only provide the condition in which they can learn. This is also PYQ, sir. According to Albert Einstein, what is the education meaning or the teaching meaning? I never teach my people. I only provide the condition where they can able to learn by themselves. So if you provide them a condition in which they can learn, that is called a teaching, not just only teaching directly. Next, Swami Vivekananda has said that education is the manifestation of perfectly already in a man. Education is the manifestation of perfectly already in a man. This quotation was quoted by the Swami Vivekananda. Right? Next, Petalogy authored. This is also previous year questions. Petalogy has authored one book, Evening Hours of Hermit. Evening Hours of Hermit is the one book which is authored by the Petalogy. Petalogy. So, which is a foundation of modern pedagogy, means modern teaching methods. Foundation of modern teaching methods. And these teaching methods are aiming at KSA. KSA means knowledge, skill, attitude. What are the things? Knowledge, skills, attitude. Knowledge, skills, attitude are the three things which are supported by the critical thinking and the values. Values is promoting a 360-degree, that is a heuristic type of learning. 360-degree type of learning is called values, which is value education, environmental education. There are many things. KSA, knowledge, skill and attitude are the main components in the teaching, and critical thinking and values are the additional components. Sir, listen to the class effectively. PDF will not be given, so kindly ensure that. Core objectives of teaching, and do not repeat the same question again and again while listening to the class. Concentrate on the listening part rather than asking for any other things. So your knowledge, which means informing, explaining or building the conceptual base. Skills means intellectual or the practical ability to do something. Attitude is shaping your values or interest or a social outlook. Next, critical thinking is about your reasoning or the evaluation ability. Adjustment, how you are adapting to the society according to the requirement, how you are adapting to the society, that is social adaptation and democratic citizenship. Application, how are you applying the knowledge that you learned, the skill that you gained, attitude that you earned. So how are you applying in practical life, that is application to real life. Core objectives of teaching. Next, the process of teaching will be like this. First, what is the aim or the objectives of teaching? Now today this class objective is to teach teaching aptitude properly. That is my objective of the today's marathon. And planning, making a proper planning as well as interaction with the students, gaining a learning experience for the students, and evaluation or making a judgment upon what students are learning, finally giving a feedback on their performance. This is how the nature of teaching is going to be. Next, according to the 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬, there are 3 phases of teaching. According to whom? 𝐓𝐡𝐚 has given 3 phases: pre-active, interactive, post-active. Pre-active means before starting the class. Now before starting the class, I might have prepared this lecture, I made a lesson planning, I made a content selection, I made a proper objectives. So before the class, before entering into the class, what I am doing is called pre-active phase of learning. Post interactive means now I am entered into the class, I started teaching. Which methodology I have adopted? I have adopted interactive methodology, or else a lecture method I have adopted, and based on that I am trying to teach, which is a questioning, interaction, demonstration, or the motivation which I am doing in the class while going on. Class is going on now. Post-active means after the class, whether you people understood or not, conducting a small test, that is evaluation after the class, assessment, feedback, lesson review. From that you will take a feedback, again you will be performing the revising the lesson planning and all. So lesson planning, which is pre-active, interactive is a questioning and demonstration, and post-active is a evaluation stage. Is that clear? Why teaching aptitude matters? Why it matters? Basically, the teaching aptitude for the teacher is required because teacher should have a acquired ability. Teaching is not the ability acquired from your birth. By birth, nobody will become a teacher. Over the period, the process of your career or the academic growth, you will be learning a lot things. Accordingly, you will be acquiring. It is not an inherited ability, it is an acquired ability, means we acquired the skill of teaching. So to teach effectively, we have to acquire the skills and combine the content knowledge with a skill, communication skill or the pedagogical skill. People may have a subject knowledge, but they don't have a skill. People may have a skill, but they don't have a content knowledge. In such a case, teaching will not be effective if any one is missing. And it includes a patience, adaptability, classroom command, and the planning skill. Whereas differentiate the teacher from instructor. Instructor, do this, do that, don't go here, don't go there. That's it. That is the instructor duty. Whereas teacher duty is to teach, to inform, to explain, to simplify the complex things. That's a major ability. That's a major ability. And here, teaching is both art and science. Both art and science. So it is intuition or the creativity or the talent, which is an art. Science is a research or a theory or an evidence. Science always require an evidence. So teaching, whatever the material that we provide, it is based on the evidence and all. And it is more of personal and expressive. Teacher, how much he is going to express in the class, that much it is going to be effective. And it is systematic and repeatable, also replicable. You can repeat as many number of as times till the students understanding. And it is a storytelling type drama. When you take example, it is part of the art. And lesson planning, assessment data is part of the science, which is an example comes under the teaching. So there are 4 P's of teaching: planning, purpose, participatory, progress oriented. So anything, it should be a planning, a planned activity, a purposeful objective oriented activity, and a participatory where the teacher and the students both are getting participated, with a progress oriented. Teacher is expecting the student to grow. Teacher is expecting student to evolve. That is the progress orientation. Next, sir, here I'll tell you entire this in a one single summary, sir. Teaching is an activity of personal development. Like teaching is an activity of personal development of whom? The learner. Personal development of whom? The learner. So teaching is a personality development oriented. Please zoom the screen. It's clearly visible, sir. Kindly do not. Chalo. So teaching is a whole personality development, whereas training is a specific skill, like training the teacher or training the students for the cricket or any other thing. That is basically we use the training when we are giving a practical instruction. And instruction means procedural. Do this way, do that way. This is what giving a directions is called instruction. And conditioning, changing the behavior of a student, like every day 6 a.m., every day 6 a.m., every day 6 a.m. practice will be there. So when you have become practice for a 1 week, automatically on the 8th day you will only wake up and do that. That is what changing a behavior of a student. Indoctrination means changing the belief system of a student. This is belief imposition. We are imposing certain things on the student, which is no questioning. No questioning at all. Belief imposition will be there. No questioning at all. So now the difference between this is scope is teaching is a wide scope and training is a very narrow, which is only skill orientation, and indoctrination is a belief orientation. Ideological compliance will be there, holistic development will be there, and skill mastery. And here in the indoctrination we are just imposing the belief system on the people to change the belief system, like a terrorist those people will do, try to do their brainwash. Every indoctrination requires help of the teaching, but teaching doesn't require the help of indoctrination. This is one more point, right? Here the do not equate the training with a teaching. Why? Training is very narrow in nature, teaching is very broader in nature. And here teaching will come first, later instruction, later training, later conditioning, later indoctrination. If they are asking in terms of the learner freedom perspective, teaching will come later. In instruction, training, conditioning and indoctrination is the final end. This is the sequence of, in terms of the learner's freedom perspective, these 5 points. And teaching characteristics are maxims of teaching. Maxims of teaching tell you how to teach. Maxims of teaching tell you how to teach. Maxims of teaching tell you how to teach. The way we need to teach is called maxims of teaching. So here it is basically, we have to teach from the known to unknown, simple to complex. First explain the easy things, later go into the deep, complex or the difficult thing. Explain from the overall to, like from the in a detailed version to summary. First you explain the full detailed version, then give the summary at the end, which is abstract. Abstract means a summary. And particular to general, explain the specific points, then generalize the things. And analysis to synthesis, break down into small parts, analyze them, and then finally you can combine to understand more clearly what you have learned. It is an particular to general and whole to part, which is general to particular also. Sometimes you have to go from a particular concept to understand the generalized thing. Sometimes we have to come from the generalized to understand the particular things. Definite to indefinite, empirical to rational. First you should clear your facts, then you can go into the broader areas, that is definite to indefinite. And here empirical, first observation is first, then the reasoning will come. Observation is first, then the reasoning is come. Psychological and logical, learner readiness before the subject logic. And near and far, because relate to the environment first, which is very near to your environment. If you can relate the concept to you, you'll understand more easily rather than going far away to understand the concepts. You have to link it with your practical environment, which is very near surrounding. And first explain the example, then you can relate to the principle. So that is induction to deduction. Actual to representative, first explain the real objects, then show the pictures or the models which are near to the reality, near to the reality. Next, characteristics of a effective teaching and characteristics of a good teacher. Effective teaching requires a clear objective, what learner is expecting, what learner needs, and a planned lesson. It's a sequenced and goal aligned, and a two-way interaction. It is feedback rich communication. It is going to be a interaction between the students and learner, students and the teacher, and activity and the variety, different teaching methods you can adopt to explain very clearly. And formative check, continuous evaluation means whether students are understanding or not. We are checking by asking some questions or by conducting a rapid unit test or a weekly test to improvise or to understand their performance. Whatever we are learning, whatever we are teaching, are they understanding, or do we need to change any methodology of the teaching? That one. And it must be inclusive, means cater to all the students, not just only some students. Reflective teacher, self evaluation. Teacher while teaching should not only develop the learner, it should develop the teacher by experience, develop their skill of the teaching, develop their simplifying the things. And it must be resourceful, like what we are providing as additional apart from the teaching, that must be resourceful, and it is adaptive in nature also. According to the requirement, you have to adopt. And good characteristics of a teacher, qualities of a teacher: subject mastery. First, you should have a knowledge. You should have a grip over the subject. Second, the communication skill. How much clearly, expressively you are explaining the concepts. Then empathy. Be always sensitive to the learner needs. What learner is requiring. Try to accept and consider to provide as much as possible according to them. Then it is empathetic. Patience. Different learners will have a different requirements. We have to have a patience to deal, or to we have to tolerate all the type of diverse type of learners. And methods, new methods of teaching is required with the innovation and technology. Follow the ethics, which is integrity, fairness, and set as a role model example, that you are a teacher to them and they have to follow you. Right now, maximum identification from a classroom is perennial. Perennial means this is basically uh, the teacher activity. Whatever we do, it is teacher is a main person in the classroom. Teacher is a main person in the classroom. So what methodology or what communication skill he is using, that is basically a point of exam. Next, how the device of how the teaching maxim is applied. It is a narration, which is story based explanation you can use, or verbal explanation you can use, logical explanation you can use. You can give the examples, or you can uh, ask them, or probing, questioning. You can use the questioning approach to test their understanding. Assignment, practice and extension of the task. So this is how we are going to have all the maxims of teaching and the characteristics of good teaching as well as good teacher. Now, three levels of learning, most important, sir, which is levels of teaching: memory level, understanding level, reflective level. What is memory level? Memory level was given by Herbert, Morrison given understanding level, Hunter, Biggie given reflective level. But here this classification was made by whom? Maurice L. Biggie has made this classification of three levels: memory, understanding, and reflective is made by the Maurice L. Biggie. According to each level is given by the respective authors. If you can type, it will be well and good, rather than watching like a movie. Here movie is not going on, so you have to be interactive in the chat box, then only you will be able to learn. I am telling you again. Memorization, recalling or learning of the facts, ratta marna, memorization. And when you are understanding to relate both, which is positive, which is negative, what is correct, what is not correct, all these are comes under the understanding level. And Reflective level is that given by Hunt, which is a critical thinking or a problem solving orientation. Critical thinking or a problem solving orientation, which is more in depth. Here in the memory level, teacher role is dominant, and in the understanding, explainer role is dominant, whereas here student role is dominant in the reflective level. So learner is passive in the memory, comprehender in the understanding, and active acquirer in the inquirer in the reflective level. Morrison has given 5 steps of understanding level: explore, presentation, assimilation, organization, recitation. Please repeat this PYQ point. Morrison model of 5 steps of understanding level: exploration, first explore the content or the concept, present the concept, assimilate, expand that conceptual understanding, organizing in a proper way, then recitation, repeat, 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 so that you will be understanding properly. Exploration, presentation, assimilation, organization, recitation. Next, Hoxton and Hooper also given 5-level ladder. Hoxton and Hooper. So he given first reception. First you receive, one way of information receiving. Later apply that whatever you receive, that is inquiry and discussion. Then extension, knowledge that you used in a new situation. Whatever you have applied, that can you apply in other situation that you learn, try to learn in extension. Then creation, original problem solving is possible with this, which is independent problem solving. Then challenge, exploratory attitude towards the limits. Exploratory attitude towards the limit. It is reception, application, extension, creation, and the challenge. Right? So exploration, presentation, assimilation, organization, and recitation. Reception, application, extension, creation, and the challenge is Hoxton and Hooper 5-level ladder. Next, Harbert, who is Harbert memory level of teaching. He given preparation, presentation, comparison, generalization, application, the logical sequence of instruction. According to the Harbert is that preparation, presentation, comparison, generalization, finally application. Next, Oxen is separate, madam, not any level. Autonomous level is independent learning, independent self-development learning, which is effects oriented and feeling. Life is a syllabus, and whatever the solutions or the problem that you are getting is a examination for that life. That is how autonomous development level. And Bloom's cognitive, I'll come to this point later. Bloom's cognitive. So here memory definitions are memory level, recall based. Explanation is understanding meaning and relationships. Solving a novel problem is reflective, which is critical thinking. And applying a formula to new context, which is Hoxton extension, transfer of learning. And design the original product, which is Hoxton creation, original output. Right? Reflective is the highest classical level in the Hoxton and Hooper model. Reflective is the highest level. And there is a branching model and the linear model of 2 instructions in the programmed instruction technology. Right? Branching. But branching is an instructional methodology. It suits the understanding level, not the memory. Branching is a programmed instructional technology method. Branching and linear model. This is going to be a understanding level of teaching, not the memory level of teaching. Not the memory level of teaching. Right? Bloom's taxonomy, most important. Bloom's taxonomy. Utmost important, sir. Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy, we are having a 2 things basically. We are having first based on the knowledge, cognitive domain, based on the skill, psychomotor domain, based on the feelings and emotion, which is what affective domain. I'm sorry. So here first, remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating. RUAAC. RUAAEC, sorry. Remember, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating are the 6 steps of cognitive domain. 6 steps of cognitive domain, which is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, creating. And 3 domains are cognitive domain, which is cognitive domain in that old also there, which is knowledge, comprehension, applying, analyzing, creating and evaluation. KCAACE, which is old domain, and new domain is that RUAACE. Knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis and creating, evaluation are the old one. New one is remember, understanding, applying, analyze and evaluate, create. Next here, affective domain, concentrating. Affective domain, it is this Anderson and Kotwal has given a new cognitive domain, not the affective domain. So affective domain is that R square VOC. Affective is about related to what? Knowledge, related to knowledge, cognitive domain. Related to feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotion, receiving, responding, valuing, organizing, characterizing. R square VOC. R square VOC. Right, this Anderson Katwal is a person who is not related to affective domain. I will change that. That Anderson Katwal is cognitive revised domain of RUAAEC. He revised in 2001 year. Next, psychomotor domain hierarchy was given. A perception, set, guided response, mechanism, complex overt and adaptation, origination. Actually there is a psychomotor domain, one more thing also there, which is IMPAN, imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, naturalization. What is that? Imitation, manipulation, precision, articulation, naturalization are the 5 sequence of psychomotor domain, which is a skill orientation, not the knowledge, not the feelings, not the emotions. According to the Simpson has given certain psychomotor sequence, psychomotor domain hierarchy given by the Simpson. In such case, first perceive the skill, then set the skill that according to the required conditions. Guided response, which is a imitation, basically what you are expecting after setting up your skill. Then how to operate, suppose you are learning the skill of driving, how you have to perceive that how to drive and all, you set up the conditions where you can drive. Then guided response from the trainer, how they are going to give you the guidance to drive. Then you understood the mechanism of driving. After that you have to operate literally the driving activity so that you will be in a position to learn that skill. Then adopt that skill, which is articulation, automatically originated, which is a naturalization, you will learn the things. So psychomotor originally is IMPAN, and according to the Simpson, perception and set, guided response, mechanism, complex overt, adaptation, origination. Right? That's it. Now factors affecting the teaching. Factors affecting the teaching. Teacher will affect the teaching, learner will affect the teaching, supporting like a study material, all those things will affect the teaching. Instructional facility, ICT facility, lab and library will affect. Learning environment, classroom environment, as well as ventilation, other friends in the class, those also will be impacting. Next, institution. It's a leadership, culture, policy of the institution, institution guidelines, those are also will be impacting, which is not much important from the examination. Now, teacher versus learner centered methods of teaching. Both methods. Teacher orientation means content delivery. Main concentration is on delivering the content. And learner centered is that learner activity. Next, teacher centered, lecture or the direct instruction, which is talk and talk approach. Chalk and talk. Whereas learner centered means flipped classroom, cooperative, project orientation. Next, authority and source of knowledge. Here facilitator or the guide. Teacher will only acting like a supervisor or the facilitator or the guide. And teacher center, learner is very passive. Here in the learner center, learner is very much active. Assessment, end of the summative assessment. When the teacher center learning happens, teacher will teach. After that, he will conduct the test like yearly, annual examination, semester examination will be that. And in the learner center, continuous, formative, authentic feedback will be there. Right? Key variables, key variables based on the NEP 2020 framework, there are certain points which are teacher effectiveness. The key variables are, according to Ryan. Ryan has given this one: warmth, affection versus aloofness. Teacher should be sensitive towards the student needs. Responsibility, responsibility. Affection means here the subject of command will give you the affection towards the teacher and all. And here responsibility, systematic versus disorganized. In a proper organized way and unsystematic way. Organized means everything step by step like that. Disorganized means it is not step by step. Total zigzag, confusing approach, chaos. Stimulation, imaginative versus dull. Means you should try your best to imaginate the students in a proper way to motivate them to achieve the desired objective of their learning, which is X, Y, Z. Warmth, responsibility, stimulation are the three things. Next, methods of teaching. Methods of teaching. Here, lecture method. First, lecture method is teacher oral presentation. Oral presentation, teacher is giving oral presentation here. And here, best use is that large groups are the factual overview. If you want to explain the factual things or the overview of the unit, you can use this method. Effective for curricular objective and the factual explanation. Curricular objective and factual explanation. Heuristic method of teaching is given by 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 𝐅𝐨𝐫. Heuristic means I discover, I find, that type of approach. Means more of practical independent discovery approach is called heuristic method of teaching. So we always encourage the students to learn or to learn in an innovative way, to discover something by themselves. Learner finds without the help of a teacher, they can do the learning in the heuristic methodology. Next, project method is John Dewey has given, and who is a popularized by W.H. Kilpatrick. Here it is active, cooperative and real life. Project method is real life. How are we implementing the knowledge in a practical life? That is project method. We will be going into the project for the on-site to understand, to learn many things in practical. It is a purposeful activity in a social setting, which is outside real life setting. Flipped classroom. First, we will send a video to students and we'll ask them to watch and come back to the class tomorrow. And after coming to the class, teacher will start explaining that concept, what he given in the video. Now students can understand easily because already they experience with a concept in the video. So that is what, flipping the class to home, then hands-on practice in the class, application and discussion. Next, inquiry by training. Training approach or inquiry model of training. In inquiry model, to develop the scientific thinking, to develop the discovery or the innovation orientation or the research solving orientation, we have this inquiry training model of instruction. In this focus is that we have to focus on syntax, means the procedure or the social system, principle of reaction, support system. These are basically a sequence of inquiry based learning model. Focus, the syntax, social system, principle of reaction and support system are comes under here. Total 5 element model it is. And your discussion method is two-way, discussing between the teacher and student. It is a higher order thinking and require a moderation. As part of the discussion, many new learning points and the new doubts will be generated, that will be discussed each other to complete. Demonstration, it will show and tell you. I will show you how to conduct an experiment in the chemistry lab. First, I will show you the experiment by mixing all the chemicals to show the result. Then I will ask you to perform. So when I show, it is called demonstration. I am giving a demo of the experiment so that you can understand practically. Programmed instruction means it is a B.F. Skinner given that a step by step. Step 1, login. Step 2, enter the password and this one. Step 3, go to the courses. Step 4, after the open the particular course. Step 5, then go to this place. Then after this, if you are performing step by step, then only it will be a proper learning. If you perform any step wrong, you have to come back and perform again, because until you do it correctly, it will not allow you to go further. That is programmed instruction. The program is set in such a way that it will be a sequence of activity. It will be a sequence of activity. What about others? Do I need to pinch every time to type or to interact in the class? Sorry, if that be the case, you no need to attend the live class also. You can better watch the recording. It will be having more flexible to forward. Except a one person, I don't think other persons are, except a 2%. Other persons are not much interested to type anything. Now, whenever I say like this, you people will type a 2, 2, 3, katam, silent. Problem solving. John Dewey has given this. So it is a real world decision making approach. And team teaching, group of teachers, they'll plan jointly to teach. And case study, analysis of the real cases. Analysis of the real cases. Simulation is mimic real situation. So Dewey has given problem solving sequence. First, define the problem, generate the solution for this problem, evaluate each solution properly. We means we have to compare all the solutions and evaluate. Then decision and implementation. Define the problem, generate the solution, evaluate the solution, decision, and finally the implementation of the solution for solving that problem. Now there are some strategies which are cooperative learning. Cooperative learning strategy, you know now. Cooperative means some of the students will come together. They will cooperate each other to learn, but individual outcome is different. Now assume that Surya is having their own approach and Sunita is having her own approach. Like this, all the students are having own approach. They will come together. They'll come together. Then they will discuss each other if any doubts. They'll cooperate each other. They'll explain each other. But ultimately, 3 people are going to write their own examination. Individual agenda will be there. But when they are discussing, a combined objective is to cooperate each other. Helping each other, but individual outcome. In that, there are methods. Jigsaw method. It is like this. In a particular group, 4 members are there. Here, this person knows one topic, second person knows second topic, third person knows third topic, fourth person knows fourth topic. 4 members knows 4 different topics. First person will explain the first topic to 2, 3, 4. Second person will explain the topic to 1, 2, 4. 1, 3, 4. Third person will explain the topic to 1, 2, 4. Fourth person will explain the topic to 1, 2, 3. Like this, 4 concepts learnt by the 4 members effectively. Right or not? Which is by cooperating. Each member masters one piece and teaches them to each other. Jigsaw strategy. Jigsaw, December 24 question. Fishbowl. Fishbowl. Inner group discusses and outer observes. Fishbowl means these people are inner circle which are participating in the quiz. They will discuss each other. Who are there in the audience now? They'll be observing, means by observing this discussion, they are learning something which is called fish bowl. Within a circle people, they'll participate in the discussion. Outer circle people, by seeing those participation, they are going to learn many things. Right? Huh. Chalo. Think, pair, share scheme of the strategy of cooperative learning. First, you think alone. I will think alone. I will discuss with my pair of a student who got paid by the teacher with me. So there are two members pair will be there. I will think individually. I will explain to my pair. Then he will think individually. He'll explain to me. Like that, think, discuss in pair and share with the class. Solo, think. Duo, explain each other. Express in the class. Think, pair, share. Round robin, members speak in turn. Round robin, which is turn by turn oral discussion will be there. It is like a group discussion one by one in the circle. Round tables, almost both are same. Member write in turn on a shared sheet. Write turn by turn in a written. This is a oral discussion is round robin. When it is a written discussion is round table. Oral means discussing normally by words, by mouth. Written means writing on the paper. Next, numbered heads together. How many heads are there in the discussion? The group of people will discuss. Any numbered member can answer. And here, random member will be responding. Random member will be responding. So, the people who are discussing, any number of people can answer. Those number of people can be a random person who are not there in the discussion. Next, team, pair, solo. Team, first, within the group you will discuss. Then we'll convert them into pair. Then individual task. Ulta to this. Ulta to think, pair, share. In the think, pair, share, first individually thinking, explaining to your partner, then discussing with group. Whereas your team, pair, solo, first discussing with group, then explaining to your pair, then coming to the individual task. It is opposite to it. Rally coach. One is going to solve the problem, others are going to just follow that solution. One will give a coach, other will understand. Next, corners. Move to a corner representing a viewpoint. Even though out of the many students, you are having a single point of view. You can express your point of view in the whole class. That is corners. You are representing your own opinion. You are representing your own position, which is not cornering, which is like, no, you are getting unique identity in the class by expressing your opinion strongly. And 3-step interview. First, pair interview with other people, then swap one person with another, then share with the team. Next, team word webbing. Group builds shared concept web. It is a visual collaboration. Visual collaboration means on a one link of the online tool, everybody will join into that tool. They'll share many things on the single tool. Next, STAD, student teams, achievement and divisions. It is like dividing the students into different groups. Johnson and Johnson has given cooperative learning work as positive interdependence. One is depending on the other on a positive way. And individual, everybody is having their own accountability are the goals. Promote interaction, face-to-face encouragement will be there. And communication skills, that is social skills will be developed. Group or teamwork will be promoted more. And it is a heterogeneous grouping. Heterogeneous means nobody knows each other, not on a particular thing. Schedules are not part of the cooperative strategy. Even though while discussing in the Siddhi batch also, I think you are asking that question because of that only, I'm sure. I mentioned in the schedule also in bracket, it is not a method of cooperative. Written, na? It is not a method of cooperative, clearly written. Just a 1 minute, sir. Classroom management styles. Authoritative, where teacher is having a full control and he's having high independence from the learners, encourage the independent thinking with effective. Whereas authoritarian also, same, authoritative or authoritarian, both are same. Next, permissive, we are allowing the student to, giving some lenience, permissive as well as lazy sphere. These both are, we are giving a full freedom to the students. Teacher is not having that much control. And democratic and indulgent are, democratic means we are like a participative approach, right? Joint decision making will be there, students and teachers. Here indulgent means low control from the teacher and high independence will be there. Warm but few demands will be there. We are maintaining good relation, but certain demands will be there from the student side. Barriers to effective teaching. Barriers to effective teaching and learning. Poor physical environment, that is bad ventilation, which reduces the concentration. Bad ventilation, which reduces the concentration. And digital inequality. Sometimes when you are adapting to the ICT tools in the classroom, everybody may not be that much accessible to it. Teacher reluctance to innovate and use facilities. Insensitivity to the learner diversity and cultural background. And emphasizing on problem of failure instead of effort and process. Lack of clear objectives and feedback. Overcrowded classrooms and inadequate resources. Language and medium of instruction mismatch. All these are barriers which are creating like a hurdles in an effective teaching and learning process. Supporting systems in the teaching, lesson planning, formative feedback, continuous improvement, inclusive practices, ICT tools integration in the classroom, mentoring or counseling the students, peer learning, cooperative and collaborative tasks, reflection, teacher journals and self-reflection, continuous professional development, CPD, most important. And separately we are having a CPD hours also in the teaching and learning activity. Community, parent and community engagement, interacting with the parents much. Here authoritative is not equal to authoritarian. Authoritarian talking about a person, sir. Person. Authoritative is talking about a method. So in authoritative, you will be authoritarian, who is a dominant. Who is a dominant. Here, encourage the independent thinking with effective monitoring. But in authoritarian, we try to show the domination with the rules and regulations. Rules and regulations. Next, teaching aids and ICT tools. Taxonomy. Projective aids, non-projective. Projective means where we use the ICT, like overhead projector, OHP, Epidia scope, film strip, slides. These are old traditional orientation of projective aids, where we can able to show the projection of content on certain things, either on the screen or on the Epidia scope or filming, such. Next, non-projective means which are traditional basically. Actually, first one is ICT orientation. Second one is traditional orientation. Chalkboard, models, teaching like apple symbols, the charts will be there now. Those are comes under the non-projective aids. Plastic graph, globe, specimen, these are non-projection. Non-projection. Next, Edgardale cone of experience. That pyramid is there, na pyramid. Pyramid of learning. Learning pyramid we call it as. So that has been given. It is not much important, sir. You can take it very light. ICT tools taxonomy in the recent PYQ. First, learning management system. Moodle, modular, objective, dynamic learning environment. What is the full form, sir? Modular, objective, modular, object oriented, dynamic learning environment. Full form also PYQ. So, learning management systems are Moodle, Canvas, Edmodo, Brihaspati, Blackboard. All these are learning management systems, which are properly like achievers. Content will be there, classes, PDF study material, exams, self-evaluation systems, those things. And quiz or gamification. Quiz or gamification. So conducting a live quizzes in a gamified learning way. Those are Kahoot, Quizzes, Quizlet, Hard Potatoes, Edka Play. All these are engagement by conducting a live test or live polling, and instant feedback will be there. Next, mind mapping. Mind Mister, Kaggle, Xmind, Puppet, MindModo, Mindomo, which is visual integration. Mind mapping means creation of mind maps with these tools. Tools like a Mind Mister, Google, Xmind, Puppet, Edmodo. Sorry, MindModo. MindModo. Actually, Modo will come. Next, interactive video. Video lectures will be there in Edpuzzle and Nearpod, which is in the video itself. Questions will be there. After completing that particular concept, you have to attempt that questions in the video itself. Multimedia content creation, Genially, H5P, Platagon, Animaker, all these are animaking content are rich design content. Collaborative tools are Padlet, Trello, Google Docs, Miro, Jamboard, where if you wanted to do any task in a shared way to exchange each other. Next, virtual labs, Labster, PHET simulation. These both are conducting a labs in the online. If you open this website also, you can conduct certain experiment in the by using virtual platform. Wherever laboratory facilities are not available originally, you can use this type of platforms to conduct that online experiments. Polling and question answering, Mentimeter, Slido, Poll Everywhere, Straw Poll, all these are live polling. Live polling will be there. Audio or screencasting means if you want to record the screen recording, Audacity, Camtasia, Screencast-O-Matic, all these are the tools for recording and podcast and editing also. Curation, so if you want to collect a shared resource and share with your students, Wakilet and Flip, which is Flipgrid. Discussion is Padlet, Flip and Slack are the discussion forums, right? Zoom is not LMS, it is a video conferencing tool. December and June 2024. Zoom is not LMS. It is not a learning management system. It is basically a video conferencing tool. आ गया sir. Now, shall I continue? Am I going speed? All good? Moderate speed. Great. Are you getting revised of all the points? If you sit for a revision, I don't think you will be able to do this much, because we are going in a minute way also. Still many things are there to discuss. I have only half an hour in hand, but I will do it. Do not worry, because we started late na. Swayam, study webs of active learning for a young aspiring minds, full form. There are 4 quadrants in this which are classified by weeks and video hours. So it is based on number of weeks, number of video hours, MOOC platform. Massive open online course. 4 quadrant. What are the 4 quadrant? Four quadrants. Video lectures and self-assessment materials, self-assessment quizzes, discussion forums are the 4 quadrants. Video classes, PDF study material, learning resources, and quizzes as well as discussion forums. 4 things. Swayamprabha, these both are established on 9th July 2017. Swayamprabha is a based on direct to home, that is DTH model. Total 40 DTS channels are there. Every day 4 hours fresh content will be there, which is repeated for 5 more times. 4 into 5, 20 plus original 4 hours, 24/7. With the help of GSAT 15 satellite, we are running this, and it is managed by InflibeNet, Information Library Network. Information Library Network. Right, 40 DTS channel. What are the DTS channel? We'll see that. See, e-tutorial quadrant 1, quadrant 2 PDF, and quadrant 3 self-assessment, web resource or discussion is a quadrant 4. And Diksha is a platform, digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing. It is basically a national school education platform by NCRT, National Council of Educational Research and Training. It is basically for the teachers to share the knowledge, to prepare the content and download any content which is available in the Diksha to teach in your classroom. Nishta, it is an initiative for school heads and teachers training. So world largest teacher training program is Nishta. To train the headmasters, head of the departments, or to train the head of the schools, to train the teachers in the schools, we have this program called Nishta. PM eVidya. Under this 40 DTS channel of Swayamprabha, there are class 1 to class 12. For every class there is a one channel. That 12 channels are there, which is under the PM eVidya. 12 TV channels, which is radio and podcast also will be there for Divyangs. Next, APAR. APAR is Automated Permanent Academic Registry, which is One Nation, One Student ID card, APAR ID. One Nation, One Student ID card, which was introduced under the NEP 2020. This APAR ID is linked with a ABC, Academic Bank Credit ID, and it has been linked with a DG Locker. DG Locker, while applying to UGC NET exam, you used DG Locker. So based on that also question is there. Use the DG Locker, and DG Locker will be having this ABC link. ABC will be linked to APAR ID. Next, NPTEL, National Program Technology and Enhanced Learning. National Program and Enhanced Technology, Technology Enhanced Learning. This is a platform, is basically providing engineering content. Engineering content, only for engineering discipline. It is been operated by all the IITs and ISC Bengaluru together has been launched. Sakshat is a one-stop education portal, which is by the Ministry of Education. Lifelong learning should be there. Learning should never stop. That is Sakshat objective. Next, 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬, digital textbook portal, which is only for school education. NCRT portal. 𝐓PG Pathshala means UG plus PG study material portal. Postgraduate content will be there in 𝐓PG Pathshala, and school content will be there in 𝐓Pathshala. 𝐸Yantra, robotic engineering. It is by the IIT Bombay. Robotic engineering. If you want to learn the robotic engineering, you can log on to this 𝐸Yantra. NDLI, National Digital Library of India, which is by IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur has designed this one, maintained by InflibeNet, single window library. So Swayamprabha total, I told that 40 channels. 40 channels. Right? So here, Consortium for Educational Communication related, Sanskar, Prabodhar, Kautilya, Saraswat, Prabandhan, Vidik. Channel 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, except 2. All these are related to Consortium for Educational Communication. He is the coordinator for giving a lectures in this channel on these topics. This organization is a coordinator. IGNO is a coordinator for 11 to 16. 11 to 16. Applied science, professional, science, social sciences, capacity building, skill and vocational. And 17, 20, 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 channels are belong to IIT Bombay. 39 and 40 related to University of Hyderabad. So 10 to 16 related to IGNO. Total 7 channels. Done. Micro versus macro teaching. What is micro teaching? I have explained pre-active, interactive, post-active phases of the teaching. So here, micro teaching is being evolved by the or originated by the D.W. Allen. Macro is a traditional approach. Nobody has given that. Class size. Micro teaching is very small group of students will be there. Here large group. Here 5 to 10 minutes because it is a teacher training. Basically, micro teaching is a teacher training where plan, teach, get the feedback, then again replan, reteach, re-feedback. So it is cyclical process that is called micro teaching. B.Ed people might have done this. One skill at a time. So here senior teacher will be observing you to operate only one skill at one time. One skill at one time. Today communication, tomorrow presentation, day after tomorrow study material. Next like this one by one skill will be there. Teacher pre-service training, plan, teach, feedback, replan, reteach, re-feedback. This is a cyclical process. Here multiple skills together you will be doing in a macro teaching, which is a regular teaching. Here trainee teachers, here trained teachers. Core micro teaching skills involves how you are using self-introduction and reinforcement of the students, how you are questioning the fluency and the clarity and variety, a stimulation variation, the gesture, posture, voice, explaining the sequence of the explanation, illustration, explaining and analogies, blackboard writing, legibility and layout, closure, summary and the linkage, demonstration to show and explain. All these are skills comes under micro teaching. Programmed instruction, as I told that programmed instruction is of two types: linear operant conditioning approach, which is B.F. Skinner, and branching programming given by the Norman Crowder. B.F. Skinner, linear programming, branching programmed instruction is Norman Crowder. And here branching programmed instruction, which is related to what? Understanding level of teaching. Linear is memory level of teaching. Self-pacing, immediate and with a small steps. Mathematics programming, which is given by the Thomas F. Gilbert. Inclusive and equitable teaching, which means learning for all. Everybody can learn. Learning is for all. Everybody is included in the learning. Follows the UDL, Universal Design of Learning. Universal Design of Learning. PM eVidya provides specific contents to Divyangas. So for those person with a disability, so for them they are getting a separate content via radio or audio formats of the instruction. Differentiated instruction, assistive technology, sign language, audio resources will be making in a more equitable and inclusive way. And NEP 2020 prioritizes socio-economically disadvantaged groups of learners. Socio-economically disadvantaged groups. NEP 2020 teaching targets are teaching related aspects. 4 national credit framework proposed. Early childhood, this continuous evaluation, school education, teacher education and adult education. ECCE, early childhood, School education, teacher education, adult education are the four components. Four components. Next. One nation, one student ID card, APAR ID we have seen. Financial literacy and numeracy. Basic fundamental mathematics. Fundamental mathematics is necessary for everyone. Fundamental mathematics and basic terminology. Foundational literacy means uh, basic things to learn, and numeracy means basic maths to learn. Competency learning and experiential pedagogy, multilingualism, multiple languages are necessary. So 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure of learning. Adult learner, adolescent learner. Adolescent is basically a 10 to 19, 20 plus is adult learner, and your cognitive feature is that they develop abstract and generalized thinking. Adolescent. Adult learner is experienced and problem solver. Here, more emotional in the adolescent, teenagers, more emotional. Stable and self-aware, their emotional intelligence. Peer belongingness, they always want a friend, they always want identity. Here, respect and autonomy, independence will be more. Here, mixed external and internal, which is adolescent. Here, largely internal, and according to the requirement, we will move on. Here, activity plus structured support will be required for the adolescent, who is a teenager, whereas here problems are orientation total. Identity versus role confusion is a Erikson linked theory in the adolescent, whereas andragogy, adult learning, is nothing but andragogical method. Self-direction, developing a self-direction is in the adolescent, already highly developed in the adult. So future or exploration will be there. Here, immediate application of whatever they learned. Self-regulator learner, who is called a self-regulator? Metacognition. Metacognition means the self-regulator, they are learning by themselves now. They know what they wanted to learn. That is metacognition. They knows what they learn or how they learn. Motivation, they are internally motivated rather than from outside. Goal setting, which is clear and measurable goals will be there. And strategy will be made by them, created by them. Self-mentoring, they track their own progress, how much they are developing. A reflection, which is reviews and adjust. Reflection, which is reviews and adjust. So other learner, who is called as an auditory learner? Auditory, who is learned by listening. Visual learner, learn by seeing. Kinesthetic learner, learn by doing it practically, dancing, all this. Read write learner, learns best by the text. Gifted learner, learn above average ability, fast pace. Gifted means some special skill will be there. They always learn everything in a speed, fast. They are having their own skill, which is not there in others regular way. That is gifted learner. Slow learners, intelligent quotient will be 70 to 80 will be there. They require more time for the repetition. Slow learner. Slow runner. And differently abled means universal design for learning, who require assistance to learn. They require always, like a deaf, dumb, physically handicapped, require assistance. Now andragogy, pedagogy, 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬. First, pedagogy is for the children, andragogy is for the adult, 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 is for the self-determined learners. And here, pedagogy is a traditional. Malcolm Novels is the andragogical proponent, and Stewart Hayes and Chris Kennan, which is 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬. Focus on here, pedagogy focusing on content of the subject. Teacher is the main role here. Teacher is authoritative oriented. Motivation by the teacher to the student externally, and here teacher directed totally. Here we will teach, a fixed curriculum will be there. Teacher will be teaching to the children's school education. And here andragogy, problem centered, where teacher role is facilitator, provide the facilities to learn in such a way. And here internal and practical oriented, they are self-directed, not self-regulated, it is self-directed orientation. Teacher role is to guide and make them flexible to learn according to it. Next, adult will be the main here. 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 is a process or capability, learning by yourself. Mentor or a coach, self-driven, self-regulated, self-determined, everything you do it by your own. And here, anything, the curriculum or the syllabus is required, it is determined by him itself. 6 principles of andragogy. Novels has given this. You need to know why I am learning this. Why am I learning this? Self-concept, self-directed it is, not regulated, not determined. Experience, you should have a prior experience to learn. Readiness, ready when it is relevant to you. And orientation, problem solving, not a subject orientation. And it is mostly an internal motivation will be there. So self-directed is Alan Tau or novels, which is own goals and evaluate self. Transformative is Jacques Mejiro, create a reflection changes worldwide. Experiential, David Kolb, learning through concrete experience. Communities of practice, Lev and Wenger, which is learning by participating in a community or a social life. Connectivism, Simon and Dons, learning across the digital networks. Done? Sir, I am not going to discuss this theory, sir. It's basically a waste of time. There never been any question from the theories. Time wasting. It's been long time. Zone of proximal development and scaffolding. Scaffolding means additional support. Additional support given by the teacher to the students. Apart from the regular academic activities, we are going to support them. We are going to support you. Completed your post graduation in this college. After that, sir, what to do, how, whether do we need to prepare for any exams or UGC net will be there or not. Like that, you are seeking a guidance from your teacher when you are in post graduation, and that is going beyond the academics. What learner can do alone, and with the help of teacher, what he can do more. That difference is called zone of proximal development. 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 is given. So this is what learner can do alone. ZPD, with the help of teacher, what he can do. Scaffolding is additional support beyond the academic. Independent mastery, so they will become expert independently. Maslow's theory. Maslow's hierarchy theory, I think you know. Maslow's motivational theory, basically five steps are there. Physiological theory, first, 5 steps. Physiological, safety, and third one is social or love and belongingness, and esteem needs is a 5th. 6th one is self actualization. This is what Maslow's hierarchy. First, you fulfill your basic needs. Shelter, food, water, air, these are basic. Later, think about the security, safety. Have a house, have a job security, like that to lead your life. Social, maintaining a relationship with others in the life. And you should have own recognition, self identity, esteem. And after that, self actualization means achieving liberation in your life. Highest satisfaction you are going to get, which is self actualization. But in the PYQ there is a one more: physiological, safety, social, esteem, and cognitive aesthetic also been given. Aesthetic need is a beauty or order which sits between the esteem and self actualization. So above the esteem and self actualization. And there is something called self transcendence also, which is beyond yourself. Your life is now satisfied for you. Now your life is dedicated for others to serve. serve the nation, serve the society, serve the people, like that. Next, Erickson, 8 stages of psychosocial development. Erickson, total age group also been mentioned here. Trust versus mistrust. Feeding is a key event and virtue is a hope. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. 1 to 3 years. Toilet training you are providing. And here, toilet, it is an example event means. Initiative versus guilt means exploring. Industry versus inferiority, school or achievement. Identity versus role confusion, peer relationships. Intimacy versus isolation, raw relation. Generative versus stagnation, which is work or contribution. And integrity versus despair, which is almost achieving your retirement life, 65 years. Generativity stagnation also retirement life. These are theories, sir. Next, Jean Piaget has given 4 stages of cognitive development. Sensoromotor, when the children is born, 0 to 2 years. Object permanence, recognizing the objects, like they may be just looking here and they are not talking anything. Initial actions. Pre-operational, 2 to 7 years. Egocentrism, symbolic play. They'll try to talk and they'll try to like show the symbols, hello, hi, bye, like this. Concrete operational, 7 to 11 years. Logical thinking on a concrete. Next, formal operational is hypothetical thinking. Proper thinking will be developed here. Badale is one author who given working memory model. Working memory model was given by the Badale. First, central executive. Central executive. Here, central executive control and coordination, where decision making is the main task in this. On the central CEO, central executive stage. In that we have a phonological loop, phonological loop, and visuospatial sketchpad, episodic buffer. Phonological loop is you are learning with audio plus video, and it is going into your memory. Whereas visual means only by watching video, visually you are learning. Or else in the second, episodic. Episodic means only you are learning by audio. Only audio is episodic, recalling story with image and sound. Only visually means which is visuospatial. Phonological is connecting this audio plus video, put together it is phonological. All these three things are comes under the chief executive, which is a central level. This sequence is given by Bardales. Next, bus, we have almost reached. Any point is getting ignored? There is something called amnesia versus interference. Zone of proximal development, Sudha SP. Zone of proximal development, ZPD. what a learner can do with help or without help of a teacher. So here amnesia and interference. Sir, amnesia means basically our memory got lost due to certain activity, due to certain incident was happened and we lost our memory. Anterograde amnesia, retrograde amnesia. Anterograde means you cannot form a new memories after onset. Means uh, a new memory you are losing. Accident happened, accident happened, right? Accident happened. Before the accident you are having so many things that you are able to remember, but after the accident you can't able to remember anything. The new memories you can't able to generate, which is called anterograde. After. Retrograde means whatever happened before your accident you can't able to remember, but after that you are able to remember before onset. Antero is what happened after you can't able to remember, you can't form a new memories. What happened before you can't able to recollect, which is a retrograde. Proactive is proactive, retroactive. Proactive means old learning disturb the new learning, which is called proactive. Old learning will disturb the new learning. And retroactive means new learning will disturb the old learning. Proactive means old learning will disturb the new learning. Means you are having something in your mind that is disturbing you to, or that is stopping you to learn the new things. Old whatever is there, it is stopping you to learn the new points. It is already half bottle is there. This half bottle of water, it is always disturbing to fill the remaining half bottle, because this knowledge and this knowledge is getting contradicted, which is why old learning is disturbing the new, which is proactive. Whereas the new learning is disturbing the old learning. New learning can't able to comparable or authenticated with the old learning. It is not matching properly. Then it is retroactive. Dissociative amnesia means memory loss linked to trauma. Means something trauma incident was happened, psychological cause. So due to that you can't able to remember anything. That is called dissociative. Decay. Decay means over a time period, as the time is moving on, we usually forget many things. As what we learned last 6 months ago, we may not be able to recall exactly. So that is when you are not using it, you will usually forget it over a time period. Repression, motivated forgetting of trauma. Something you are in your life, something happened which is tragic in nature, and you do not wanted to recall that one, you do not wanted to remember. That is why I am motivating myself to forget, which is called motivated forgetting. I am pushing into unconscious. I do not wanted to recall that incident which was happened in my life, which is basically a repression. And Atkinson-Shiffrin multi-store model is sensory memory, short memory, long memory are there. Next, transfer of learning. How the learning will transfer from one to another, not one to another persons. How the learning is going to take place. That's what transfer of learning. There are many types of transfer of learning. In that, look at positive transfer of learning. Here, prior learning helps the new learning. Positive transfer. I have learnt basic mathematics, addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. That helped me to learn the calculus, algebra, anything. Right? So, positive learning. Prior learning is helping to learn the new. Negative learning. My prior learning is disturbing to learn the new things. Two different short answers. Suppose I have learned that how to teach online. That is, I know that. Now I am going in offline teaching. This online teaching environment was disturbing me to teach offline. Actually, it is not compatible. Both are different type of experience. So negativities, prior learning hinders the new learning. Next, zero transfer means no impact. Carpentry or painting. See, learning a carpenter and doing a painting, does it have any relation, sir? No relation at all. Whatever you learned previously, different from what you are learning, new things. No impact at all. And near transfer learning. Near transfer means bicycle and motorcycle. I learned a bicycle. If I learn bicycle, I can learn the motorcycle. Almost both are nearby. Here gear will be there, their gear will not be there. Like that. Nearby transfer of learning. Similar context transfer. Far transfer means different context transfer. Learning geometry, does it have any link with a architecture? No. That geometry is different, architecture is different. Far away, different context. I can use geometry somewhere, architecture somewhere. Low road transfer. Low road, automatic and unconscious, which is diving in a new city. Low road transfer means automatically you are going into the unconscious learning, which is trying to learn the new things which is not even learned before. That is low road transfer. High road transfer, consciously, effortful, wantedly, deliberately, effortfully, reflectively, you are only learning by yourself, applying the physics law to engineering. So you know what you are doing, consciously you are doing, effortfully you are doing, reflectively you are doing it. Within the low road transfer, it is automatically happening. You don't have any intention to do as such. Unconsciously happening. Here, consciously, effortfully, reflectively, everything. In this high road, there are two types: forward, forward reaching, backward reaching. Forward reaching is looking ahead while learning. What we are learning, we are looking at the future. If we learn this, what is going to happen? If we learn this, what we are going to get it? Learning maths for the future job. Learning this UGC net syllabus for a future assistant professor job. So forward reaching is nothing but we are looking ahead to learn what to learn now by thinking about the future. In order to become assistant professor, I have to learn UGC net syllabus to qualify the exam. Backward means looking back to solve the. Acha, I am in the present problem. How to solve this problem? I am just going back to learn or to recall how to solve this problem, because I solved this already. To solve this type, I have to just check back in my memory how to solve. Looking forward, looking or backward reaching, looking backward, recalling the past method. Lateral, vertical, bilateral. Lateral means same level, new situation. School maths and shopping. Here, same level and new situation. How to apply that mathematics in a shopping, like calculation wise, discount wise, and all. Vertical is easy to more complex. Means learn the addition and subtraction first, later multiplication and division. Bilateral means both across body sides, which is left hand and right hand skill. Bilateral. Next, theories of transfer. Identical elements theory given by Thorndike. Transfer occurs when stimulus responses overlap each other. Generalization, JUD, general principle of transfer across the situation. Transposition, Gestalt, whole pattern of transfer, not just parts. Mental discipline, classical, mind, muscle, which is exercise, improve transfer. These are given by different authors. Identical element given by the Thorndike, generalization by the Judd, transposition by Gestalt, and mental discipline is not any author. It is basically old traditional method. And here, high road is conscious and effortful. Low road is automatic and unconscious, not effortful. So both are different. Next, evaluation. Placement evaluation means judgment of a student performance. Placement evaluation to check entry level behavior of a student. Entry level behavior of a student. Language placement test, or else conducting a NEET entrance examination for medical, IIT entrance examination for IIT engineering entrance, to check entry level capability or aptitude. That is what placement evaluation. Diagnostic evaluation before or early to find or to identify the learning difficulties of one student. Learning difficulties of one student. We conduct a diagnostic evaluation. Formative evaluation is during teaching. Every day conducting a unit test or a topic test or a quiz test to improvise what teacher is teaching, are you understanding or not, and teacher also can learn, can he, whether any need to change the teaching methodology to improvise their performance day by day by conducting a test, improvising their performance and coming across their difficulties. Quiz and class discussion. Summative is end of the period. Just a final achievement will be there. Team end exam. It is like summative is at the end of the total completion of your semester, final semester exam. After completing entire your 1 year annual examination, where you are going to certify the learner. Here mastering the content. Mastering means by improvising you will become a master. Mastering the content. Here certify the learner, because that memo original degree is important. ipsative, what is ipsative assessment? Ipsative assessment is across time and same learner. Here compare with the own past. How I am performing in the last 6 months before, those who joined in the Siddhi batch, how your performance was there before Siddhi batch. Now after the Siddhi batch, how your performance is increased. Comparison with your own performance in the past. It is called comparison of your own current performance with your own past performance. It is called ipsative. You are comparing your own current performance with own past performance. Authentic means whatever you learned, are you in a position to apply that concept in a real life world? Real world task application. Real world task application. Next, continuous evaluation. Continuous and formative almost similar. Daily class observation, daily task orientation, tracking of progress. That is track progress. Next, comprehensive all-round development. Cover scholastic and co-scholastic, which is CC in schools. Cover scholastic and co-scholastic. Comprehensive type of learning, all-round development. Scholastic and co-scholastic. Continuous comprehensive evaluation. You are evaluating to improvise continuously in each and everything. If they are saying assessment for learning, we are assessing for the learning, it is formative. To learn and to improvise your performance for learning. For learning purpose, you are conducting assessment, it is called formative. Assessment of learning, what you learned to evaluate your performance and give or certify the learner to give the grading, to give the certification or memo, then it is summative. Assessment for learning is formative, of learning is summative. There is a difference. Assessment as learning, ipsative, which means comparison of your own performance with your past performance, ipsative, self-reflection. And find weakness as a pre-remedial, identifying the learning difficulties, diagnostic. Real life, are you able to apply the concept or not? Authentic. Authentic means you are checking this concept is applicable in real life or not. Entry level decision is placement. That's the end of the discussion. Next, measurement, assessment, evaluation. Measurement is to basically test is a tool to measure, and measurement is a quantifying, that marks, quantity is important. Assessment is we are collecting the information about the learner by observing or by having the marks. Evaluation means judge on the quality, grade A, grade B, like this. So the term difficulty index is a one word. It talks about difficulty index means the percent of the learners answering correctly. Almost 30 to 70% of the learner can answer correctly. That is indicating index, that how many people are going correctly. Discrimination index, differentiate high versus low scores. This index will give you, okay, 30% of people high score, 70% people are having low score. This discrimination, the differentiation. Reliability, how many people are consistently getting their scores in the performance. And here validity, what we are intended to measure. Are we measuring their performance? Are we measuring their conceptual understanding? Are we measuring their time management? Are we measuring their practical understanding? Are we measuring their mathematical understanding? Like that, what we are intended to measure, are we measuring or not? Objectivity is that scorer independent, means unbiased approach. In choice based credit system, there are certain terminologies, sir. Academic year means, one academic year means one odd semester, one even semester. Semester 1 and 2 put together, one academic year. Credit, unit of a coursework, means instruction per week. Per week, how many classes or how many hours of classes has been conducted. That is credit. Credit point, grade points into number of credits equal to number of credits and how many grade points. That multiplication will give you credit point. Course is nothing but a paper or a module with a defined objective. One particular course or one particular module, which is basically a course. And SGPA, semester grade point average. CGPA, cumulative grade point average. Semester grade point average, cumulative grade point average. Core course, compulsory paper for a program, whereas elective course is optional and chosen by the learner. Elective is chosen by the learner, means according to his own choice and interest, he will choose that particular elective course to take it. Audit course is attended without any grading impact, just only on a trial basis. And there are two more types of evaluations, sir. Norm reference criteria. I'll tell you a simple sense. Norm reference, I am comparing the performance of Sunita with Sindhuja. So I compare this both people. And I have to identify who is top 1, who is top 2, whose rank is high, their score is high, right? So that is comparison with others, comparison against the group, against the peers, where we are going to give the ranking, which is a qualitative. It will talk about the ranking or the relative position of a person when you compare with other members. Relative position of a Sindhu as compared to all the members in this class. Like this relative position, we are talking about comparison with others. UGC net cutoff rank is a best example for this. Bell-shaped normal distribution curve will be there like this. And your criteria referenced, your comparison with the minimum marks, minimum 35 marks in a one paper. Comparison against the standard, against the criteria. To qualify in any paper, you must and should get minimum to minimum 35 marks in a paper. That is a criteria, standard, yardstick, which is fixed. So we compare with the standard, not with others. Here we will give the marks, which is quantity orientation. Absolute achievement, not a relative position. Driving license pass standard. So minimum this much driving license standards are there. If you cross that, then only you will get it. And here in the distribution curve, it is either on leftly skewed or on lightly skewed, like this, not exactly normal bell curve. And holistic rubric. Holistic means overall assessment, overall judgment about a particular student, quick grading. Analytical means multiple criteria, scored separately will be there, a detailed feedback will be given. So in a CBCS 10-point grading scale, 0 means outstanding, 10 grade points. Grade point, how we are getting? Here 10 grade points multiplied by number of credits, that will give you 1 credit point. So like that, a grade point is decided here. A plus means 9 grade point, excellent. A means 8 grade point, very good. B plus 7, good. B 6 above average, C 5 average, P 4 only pass, F 0 which is fail, it is O actually, absent also O, absent. Essential teaching skills almost we have repeated, sir, multiple times. I don't think repetition is much required. Berlo SMCR model, it is communication basically. Source, message, channel, receiver. SMCR. It will come in the communication. Don't worry. I think classroom communication has been affected here. This we will discuss in the Shannon Weaver, all these things in the communication. Barriers to in classroom. What are the barriers? In classroom communication, when the teacher is communicated, sometimes noise may come from outside, door sound or the distance. That will be physical barriers. Psychological means anxiety of the students, attitude of the students, or teacher is psychologically not strong in that particular class. Or semantic barriers, maybe language or the technical words that we are using, maybe barrier. Ambiguity, which is semantic in nature. Cultural, the customs are the beliefs and the values. Customs are the beliefs or the values, which is a cultural. And personal, distraction, fatigue and the mood, personal. Next, technological, faulty mic when we are talking, or connectivity, it is not good. All these are barriers happens in the or occurs in the classroom. Next, there are some learning style which is called, one of the learning style is that work model. What is work? Visual, oral. Visual means charts, maps, diagram, colors. Oral, audio, lectures, discussion, podcast. R, read and write, writing a notes or reading a notes, list or textbooks. K, kinesthetic, practical learning, practical learning. So VARK, work. Neil Fleming has given this work model, and there is Kolb experiential learning cycle is there. Kolb, concrete experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, active experimentation. Here, concrete experience first. Concrete experience means on a detailed version how you are experienced. Reflective, from this concrete experience, whatever you experience, what actually happened? Reflective. Abstract conceptualization, on a summary basis what you understood finally, and that you are going to experiment practically by using that knowledge. Kolb experiential learning cycle. Diverging style of learning. Diverging means you are on the imagination. Divergent, where you are generating idea by imaginating. Assimilating means you are using the theory and logical models. You are using the theory and logical models to learn. And here, converging is practical application. You are not in the imagination. You are not in the out of the box thinking. You are in practical application, whether how to apply. Accommodating means hands-on or a risk taking. It is more of practical application as well as risk taking. Difference between assimilating and accommodating. In accommodating, you are already having some existing knowledge, and that existing knowledge, what you do, you will, whenever the new knowledge comes, you will revise the old knowledge and keep it in that. Whereas accommodating means you are adding the new knowledge, not removing the old one. You keep on adding the new knowledge. In the assimilating, it is like new current affair, new income tax rules will replace in the old. That is assimilating. Whereas accommodating means every day new PYQ is coming, we are learning from the PYQ. That is accommodating, we are adjusting. And jocks and learning styles are high sensational seekers. They take risk, novelty, new and excitement oriented type of learning. High sensation learners. Goal oriented means they have a specific goals. What they wanted to do, they know very well. Emotionally intelligent are, they learn from the mistake. They are self-aware what they are doing. And consciousness achievers are, they are responsible, they are rational, methodological, and they take responsibility of their mistakes. High sensation seekers are risk, novelty, and excitement. Goal oriented, having a specific goals. Emotionally intelligent are learn from the mistake and self aware. Conscious achievers are responsible, rational, and methodological. Next, Haney and Mumford variant of a cold. Here, out of the cold experiential learning cycle only, Haney and Mumford, some more things are given. Activist. Activists are nothing but those learners who are learning by doing. They try something or anything. Reflector. They observe, they think before acting. They think much before doing something. Theorist. They build a logical theories but not doing anything practically. Pragmatist are apply the ideas in practice is pragmatist. And multiple intelligence theory given by the Gardner. Gardner is there. So multiple intelligence are nothing but words and language intelligence, linguistic intelligence, reasoning and number, logical maths intelligence, spatial, visual and spatial reasoning, which is spatial intelligence, musical, sound and rhythm related, musical intelligence, body is kinesthetic intelligence, body movement, dancing is a body movement, that is kinesthetic learning, interpersonal intelligence, understanding others, intrapersonal, understanding self, naturalistic, be natural as much as possible, not artificial, existential, big questions of a life, existential life. So these are basically a multiple intelligence theory. Almost we are at the end, sir. There are 5 E's model which is given. Before that, cognitive apprenticeship model given by Collis, Brown and Newman. Collis, Brown and Newman. Modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection and exploration. Please do type the sequence as it is. PYQ it is. PYQ. Modeling, which means expert will show the task, how to do the task. Expert will show the task visibly. Coaching, guided execution by the learner. Coaching. So properly according to the expert guidance, the learner has executed it. Scaffolding, the expert or the guide will be, the teacher will be there to some extent to take you to become expert. Fades with a mastery. Articulation is learner verbalizes the reasoning. Articulation means learner is doing by his own. Reflection is comparison with own performance with expert. Reflection is comparison with his own performance. How he is performing last week, previous day. Now how he is performing. Day by day improvement he is checking. Reflection. Exploration is now you are an independent expert. You learnt everything. You can apply without any support. Constructivism 5E. 5E instructional model. Engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate. Engage, capture the interest, surface prior knowledge. First, get the interest to learn something. Then explore, hands-on investigation. Learner will investigate further. Teacher will explain the formal, regular concepts will be explained by the teacher. And applying to a new situation, elaboration. Whatever he learned, he will try to apply to a new situation. Then evaluate is assess the understanding properly. 5 E's. 5 E's. Engage, explore, explain, elaborate and evaluate. Inquiry training model already been covered. It is a 5 sequence, Suchman given this. Focus, curiosity of event, what you wanted to learn. Focus on that. Syntax means the sequence of activity, what to do in that to learn this, what to do. Social system, interaction, teacher and student interaction, about the rules and regulations. And principle of reaction, teacher responses to learner questions. Support system are resources needed, books, lab, data, everything. So focus, syntax, social system, principle of reaction and support system are the 5 elements which is in a sequence. There is something called situated cognition or anchored instruction. Situated cognition is nothing but thinking located in a social or physical context. According to that particular situation, in that scenario, in that context, how are you reacting? How are you thinking? Same situation may not be repeated. But in that situation, how are you reacting? That matters a lot. That is called situation cognition. Anchored instruction means teach within a meaningful anchor problem constraint. So it is basically anchored means according to the limited, respectful or meaningful solution only you have to deal with it. Cognitive flexibility theory given by Spiro. Revisit the difficult topics in a multiple angles to get the solution. One difficult topic is there. Think from this, think from this, think from this, think from this to get the solution. That is cognitive flexibility theory. NEP 2020. So school structure is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Foundational, preparatory, middle and secondary. FLM, literacy and numeracy, minimum education and minimum mathematics. Pedagogy, experiential pedagogy and competence based and multilingual approach. Assessment, 360-degree approach, holistic. Higher education, multidisciplinary and whenever you want you can exit in the middle, whenever you want to get entry. Teacher education, 4-year B.Ed degree by 2030. Digital push, actually during this NEP 2020, Diksha, Swayam, PM eVidya, all these are going to be integrated in the ICT learning. And inclusion is socio-economically disadvantaged groups has to get education, and Divyangs also has to get education. Gender inclusion fund means everybody is equal, equitable type of learning. This is already done, sir. Here, Pragyata is an online learning guidelines by the Ministry of Education. Manodarpan, mental health support for the student. Vidya Pravesh, 3-month school readiness module. Nipun Bharat is the foundational literacy and numeracy related. This is there, na? So related to this, Nipun Bharat has been launched in NEP 2020. Under NEP 2020, the focus was on early childhood education, and for school education, teacher education, adult education. These are the 4 things which are more concentrated. That's all, sir. If you give 5 more minutes, then I will do this. Final single point of learning. Small learning points. That's it. It's almost 2 hours completed. Now we need 5 more minutes to do. Teaching is a social act. Learning is an individual. Done already. Teaching is a molecular, which is small observable, not a molar, which is overall. Branching is suits at understanding level, already learned. Reflective is the highest classical level of teaching. Project method is originated by John Dewey and popularized by the Kilpatrick. Heuristic comes from the heurisco, which is I find, I discover, learner driven strategy. And flipped classroom, video at home, hands-on activity in class. Pedagogy, which is authored evening hours of hermit book. Micro teaching, D.W. Allen, Stanford. Bello SMCR model, source, message, channel, receiver. These are the points which we learn related to concepts and distinction. Now related to psychology and memory, anterograde amnesia, retrograde. Anterograde, we cannot form a new memories because after the accident or after memory loss, we are not able to create it. Retrograde, we can't able to recall the previous things after the accident. Disassociative means something linked to trauma. Some trauma is there or some tragic incident happened. That is why you can't able to recall anything. Proactive, retroactive. When the old knowledge is disturbing to gain the new knowledge, it is proactive. When the new knowledge is disturbing to gain the old knowledge, it is called retroactive. Episodic buffer integrates the phonological loop and sketchpad and LTM, which is in this central executive will be there. Phonological is both audio and video, and episodic is only audio, whereas this visiopad is video. Next year, repression. Wantedly, we do not want to remember something mishappening in our life, trauma. We are forgetting, motivated for it. We are wantedly forgetting. We do not want it to remember. Priming, exposure to cue, make a related recall easier. Priming means to remember or to recall the previous thing easily. We are just interacting with the known things. We are interacting with the related things to get back the things in your mind from the memory. Semantic memory is general knowledge is called a semantic memory. Episodic memory is a personal event. What happened in my childhood is episodic memory. And what is happening in the general, current affairs and all, semantic memory. Learning theories, Pavlov given classical conditioning theory, Skinner given operating conditioning theory, 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 zone of proximal development. With the help of teacher, without help of a teacher, what a learner can do. Scaffolding, temporary support gradually. Slowly, we'll be giving a support and will be removing or giving up our hand so that they can travel there by own. We'll be taking them how much when they are crawling, when they are facing difficulty in walking, we'll make them to walk by giving support. Once slowly, we'll remove our hand to go individually. Knowles has given andragogy adult learning. Bandura has given social learning, which is Bobo doll experiment. Kohler given inside learning, chimpanzee experiment. Tallman, which is latent, rat mage. And Piaget, zone of cognitive development theory, which is given by Jean Piaget. Methods and strategies. Jigsaw, a piece. Expert pieces taught them to team member. Fishbowl, inner circle will discuss, outer circle will learn or observe. Think pair solo, think solo and discuss with pair, share with a group. Number of heads together. Any number of heads of people, number of people can come together to answer. Team, pair, solo, discuss in team, then discuss with your pair, then come to individual conclusion. Authoritative encourages the independent with monitoring. Authoritative encourages the independence with monitoring. And cognitive apprenticeship model, modeling, coaching, scaffolding, articulation, reflection, exploration. Just now we have seen. Inquiry training model, focus, syntax, social system, principle of reaction, support system. Evaluation, formative, during the instruction feedback, summative, end of the period grading, diagnostic, end of the learning difficulty, placement, decide the entry level behavior, ipsative, comparison with your own performance, authentic, how to apply the concept in a real world, criteria, comparison with the criteria, and normative is comparison with others. Holistic is 360-degree orientation, analytical is criteria wise scores. Continuous comprehensive evaluation, CCE, CGPA, SGPA, CBSE terms, and digital learning environment, Swayam Prabha 40 DTS channel, APAR, NISTA, teacher training program, Zoom is not LMS, Edpuzzle, embedded question inside the videos. In the videos only questions will come. You have to answer like a survey. Padlet, digital bulletin board, PHET and Labster are the virtual labs. Trello is a task tracking platform where you can arrange your task. And Google Docs, real-time editing, Mentimeter, Slido, poll everywhere. Transfer and learning styles. Positive transfer. Whatever you learned previously, now it is going to be useful. Zero transfer. What you learned previously, now what you are going to learn, nothing related. High road transfer. Consciously, effortfully, by deliberately you are learning, which is comes under high road. Far transfer is what you are learning and what you are going to learn. So much difference. Both are in a different context. Work model, visual, oral, read and write and kinesthetic. Kolb, 4 styles, diverging, assimilating, converging, accommodating. Jackson, sensation seekers versus goal-oriented seekers. Sensation are very risk takers and excited oriented. Goal orientation are they have the goal in their life. Bloom's taxonomy, that CAP, cognitive, mind related knowledge, affective, feeling related, psychomotor is body related. Old top model is evaluation, new top model is that creating. Evaluation and creating are the top elements in the Bloom's taxonomy. That's it, sir. A teaching aptitude revision. I hope all the points has been covered. You can just check back December 2025, June 2025, December 24, June 24. You can go back and you can check in any book. These many points has not been covered. Book also, because these are the proper previous year question based revision only. Nothing more, nothing less. I try to give everything in a concise way, which is in a proper sequential manner. Right? If you find it is useful, kindly inform to your friends to join into this particular course. And those who wish to take the course, which is 10 days revision that we are doing for a paper 1 and paper 2 commerce, you can just log on to 𝐓𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐤𝐬 platform, register in the application, download app from the Play Store, and after registration log on and go to the UGC net folder, click on the final 10 days revision, then click on the combo course if you are going for both papers. Single course is that 519, right? 1st June, today 11th June to 21st June it is there. 30 days validity of the recording you can able to access. Those who are asking about recording, yes, recording will be accessible. Recording will be there for this particular course. Now after this class, immediately recording will get uploaded. Do not worry much about it. Thank you so much. Not possible, Hampaya, as I told. It is not at all possible. Thank you so much. Have a great day. What we given at this price, the sufficiently the lectures are being provided. That is most preferable. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Today evening, business environment, international business.